Hello and welcome to Leadership Satsang. I'm your leadership coach, Yukti Kapoor Mehndiratta. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We are all set to open up a few very, very important things to keep in mind and realize about how we identify with ourselves and how we land up comparing ourselves to others helplessly sometimes. As much as we know about a lot of things we should do and not do, there are a few things that we land up doing, and if those things don't serve us well, is when there is merit in going deeper to understand how to stop doing that. How to stop comparing yourself with others is the topic for our satsang today. And thank you so much for those who've put out this question to me on email and other social media platforms, which encouraged me to take it up as our topic today. So let me welcome you all. Do tell me which location are you right now from? Where are you connecting from? Would love to welcome you here for the satsang. And as you do that, let's also prepare ourselves to be in this present moment with a chant that we do together as always. We're going to chant Om. And with that, we will bring ourselves in here in this present moment completely. There's a lot that's going on in life, and all that has to wait for the next 30 minutes because that's our time together. I want you to consider this satsang session as your me time. This is the time that you can use to reflect upon yourself. And let me tell you, we don't give this much time to ourselves otherwise. And how much we deserve and need this is something you will know only when you make self-reflection a habit, and it should become a habit. It's not just a very popular advice given by just about everybody that you should journal, you should reflect. Let me tell you, there is a lot of power in doing this, but power is in the practice, not in knowing. So no, there's no merit in knowing if you don't practice. Let's start practicing together, and we start that practice by being in the present moment with this chant Om. Once again, I'll tell you, it's a combination of 3 syllables, Om. You will say O till the midpoint and Ma till the rest of it. We breathe in, and as we breathe out, we start the chant. That's how we do it. What's important is that your spine is straight and your shoulders are as relaxed as it can be. If you're wearing glasses like I am, you can just put this aside because there's nothing to see. And close your eyes. Place your hands wherever you can comfortably place them. There is no need to take any mudra. Don't worry about that as long as your eyes are closed and you're here with me in this moment. Let's take a nice deep breath in and breathe out. And breathe in again. And breathe out. And with the next breath in, we will start the chant. As we exhale, we will do it 5 times together. Let's start. Rub your hands till you can feel the warmth between your palms. And when you can is when you gently place them on your eyes, ears and face, neck, and your arms, and the rest of your body, so you can pass this energy to your entire being. And I hope this energy and your energy helps me to heal my eye. I'm dealing with what's in fashion these days, conjunctivitis. So pray for me that it heals. And I'm actually feeling much better already. So thank you so much for being here with me and bringing yourself to this present moment. I want you to take a moment and reflect upon this title, this topic that got you here today: how to stop comparing with others. Before we get started with the how to, let us find out if this is really happening, because most of the times we don't even realize. We don't realize what we get stuck with. So tell me, do you find yourself comparing with others? Then give me a yes in the chat box, in the comments here. Give me a yes. I mean, we all land up comparing ourselves to others, right? Sometimes it's about the amount of money that we are earning. Sometimes it's about the accomplishments that we have against other people in comparison to other people. Sometimes it's something else. It's looking at how good their family is, how good their children are, how good their spouses are. I don't have one. I don't have this. I don't have that. They have this. They have that. Right? I mean, that's all just running somewhere in our head, isn't it? Often, yes, absolutely. Thank you for being so honest, because if we don't accept the way things are, then there is no way to improve. Acceptance is the first step towards improvement. That's how it works. If you're not ready to accept, then there is absolutely no way to improve. Do we compare ourselves with people? The answer is a yes. That's true. We do. Does it help us? Does it serve you to compare? Does it make you feel good? If it makes you feel good, then say good, or say bad, or say whatever you want to say in terms of how you feel about it. How do you feel when you compare yourself to other people? What is the emotion that you are experiencing when you are comparing in your mind? How do you feel about it? How does it make you feel? You getting the question? When you're comparing yourself with other people, how does that make you feel about yourself? I'll give you a few examples. You could feel like you're a loser, like you're a failure, like you're lagging behind, you're not good enough, right? You could feel jealousy for other people. You could experience envy, even hatred, anger. Absolutely right. These are normal emotions. Fear. Absolutely right. Fear. What else? Negativity. Yes. Yes. Sadness. Absolutely. Malar said sadness. Shreya says negativity. Absolutely. Negativity is high. Kossar. That's right. Any other emotion you feel when you're comparing yourself to other people? You feel bad, congested, and bad. Yeah, wonderful. How else do you feel? Can you please connect with that feeling for me for a moment? Just for a moment. Connect yourself with that feeling. How does it make you feel when you compare yourself with other people? Anger. Yeah, you feel angry, right? Tensed. Wonderful. Now, let's look at where this comparison comes from. When does it start? Do you know this whole comparison thing starts even before we are born? Because there is a comparison that we as parents run between a son and a daughter. Not that we need a son more than a daughter or daughter more than a son, but yeah, if it's a son, then life is like this. If it's a daughter, then life is like that. And then you're born and blessed with a healthy body, and we feel great and blessed to have you on earth, part of our family, great celebrations, right? And then you are compared to your parents' features. इसकी नाक ना इसकी मम्मी के जैसी है, और इसका complexion इसके पापा के जैसा है. Do you hear that? Do you hear people saying, बिल्कुल शक्ल माँ पे गई है, just like your mother. You look like, this child looks like her mother. The poor child has not even seen herself or himself in the mirror, but there is already a comparison. Are you getting this? You do that, I do that. When we go and meet people who are just blessed with a child, what is the first thing we say? Oh, wonderful, good that you have a healthy child, God bless, wonderful. Just looks like you, man, completely like you. And that is a way of creating a comparison. And then the comparison grows into our academic performance when we are in school. You are in comparison with other people because there's a whole ranking system now. For somebody to come first, somebody will come second, somebody will fail. There is a comparison in how much you've understood about the concepts that are taught in the class. Are you understanding this? So there's a comparison there again. You're first, you're in the top 5, or you're in a mediocre, or you are at the lowest level. And then that starts another level of comparison. And then we create an identity out of that. I am an intelligent person, or I'm an academic person, or I'm a sports person, or I'm not a math person. You see, a lot of grown-ups say this, I'm not a math person, or, history is not my cup of tea. I'm not this person. I can do this. I can't do that. All those identities get created with all these comparisons made externally. And when we start internalizing it, we don't even realize. And it only grows in size, it only grows in its intensity, to a point where it stops serving us. It makes us dysfunctional. I'm using a very strong word here because it's true. It makes us dysfunctional because we limit our own potential. We've not understood it to go beyond a point where we lost in comparison. Are you understanding what I'm saying? At that point where you lost in comparison to somebody else is where you limited your potential. मुझसे इतना ही होगा, मुझे इतना ही आता है, मेरे में इतना ही दिमाग है. That's all I can do. That's all I can understand. That's as much as I can know. That's as much as I can do. And those limitations are created by what? By those moments where you were in comparison to somebody or someone or something. And that made you understand something about yourself. And you took that as your identity. Many of us live an entire lifetime not comparing, not going beyond or challenging those limitations, self created limitations. And then we wait for somebody to come and show us our true potential. You tell me what I can do. Why should anybody else tell you? They don't know about it themselves. They don't know their own potential. How they tell you your potential? And why should they? When you are not taking the responsibility to go beyond your limitations and explore your potential, why should anyone else find that time in their life and do that for you? Not fair. Is that a fair ask? Say unfair. Say unfair in the chat box. If you think that's unfair, no, that's not fair. In the name of love, I can't expect that you stop living your life and start improving mine. No, not fair. That's not fair. Whether you're a parent to me or you are my life partner or my business partner, it's not your obligation to tell me what I can do. It is a challenge that I have created for myself. And I need to go beyond that challenge. I need to find a way to go beyond the self created, limiting identity, which is based on a lot of comparisons we have failed in when we were not good enough. Yes, not as good as the neighbor's child, not as good as your sibling, not as good as I was when I was your age. And we do all of this with a very good intention. Let me tell you, I'm not questioning the intention. Intention is love, intention is to motivate, all that is right. But does it really materialize into that motivation? Most of the times it doesn't. Most of the times there is a silent acceptance because of all this criticism and comparison. And we settle with that. कि ऐसा ही है. I am not going to be a 90% plus, or I'm not going to be as sharp or an all-rounder like my neighbor. This is who I am. And I want you to go beyond that. And I want you to challenge that identity you have created for yourself. No matter how old you are, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are ready to challenge it now with me here in this moment, right now. Are you ready? Then give me a ready in the chat box. Are you ready to do this? Because let's not just talk. There's no point in talking. If you're not ready to do something about it, then let's not talk either. We can talk about something else that we're ready to do something about. It'll be better utilization of our time together, isn't it? So if you're here with me and wanting to learn how to stop comparing myself with other people, I want you to give yourself a chance first. I want you to see where and how and why are you limiting yourself? And are you ready to go beyond that? Kiran is ready. Achal is ready. Malar is ready. LinkedIn user is ready. I don't know your name, my dear. Please put that in. That'd be great. Who else is ready? I have many of you here live with me. Tell me if you're ready, then I will give you a how to. Otherwise, it's just some more information you will hoard and do nothing about. Another book you buy that you will not read. Let it not be that. Let it not be that. This can be life changing if you get it. Yeah, Gurpreet is ready. Looks like we're all ready. Just as how Ramesh and Shreya are, and everybody else listening to this session. If you're ready, is when you should listen to the rest of this satsang. Because what I'm going to talk about is some real trigger, this real stuff that can help you to stop creating this comparison. It's no breaking news that everybody is unique. ये हमने बहुत बारी सुना है, ये हमें पता है, लेकिन ये हमें फील नहीं होता है. Let's accept that. Okay. Pata hai. Okay. Everybody says that everybody is unique. I also understand everybody is unique, but I don't feel that. I feel like I am just one of the many. देर इज नथिंग ग्रेट अबाउट मी. मेरे में क्या अच्छा है? मैं प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी नहीं हूँ किसी कंट्री की, मैं साइंटिस्ट भी नहीं बनी लाइफ में, आई हैव नॉट वन अ नोबेल प्राइज, आई हैव नॉट achieved 1 2 3 4 which is understood as the indicators of success. So who am I? Just one of the 8 billion people on earth. What is so unique about me that everybody keeps saying everybody is unique? We need to bring ourselves back to the fact that it's true, everybody is unique. The best and the only sensible way for you to grow in your life is to keep yourself as your benchmark. Your best version is your benchmark. And when you go beyond that is when you know that you need to step out of your comfort zone with the willingness to grow, not the compulsion to grow. There is no proving in that. And when there is no proving in that, there is a lot more energy to do what you need to do. Listen to this, guys. Everything is a form of energy. We've read this in science, correct? Everything is a form of energy. Every single matter has its own vibrational frequency, right? So it's true for you, it's true for me, it's true for anything and everything around that you can see and even not see. We're part of what we call as a magnetic field, an energy field. Now, the energy that we have within us either gets sucked with the negativity that we experience, or it can get elevated if we keep ourselves at a higher emotional level. What is emotion? Energy in motion, correct? Emotion is energy in motion. Now, when you catch your emotions and realize that these are negative emotions, negative emotions and positive emotions, that demarcation is easy to create, right? So these are my negative emotions. Negative emotions are going to pull me down. It's going to pull down my energy. And energy is only this much. It's limited, right? It's limited. So either you allow it to get sucked in, and then if you're at a lower energy level, you will attract lesser energy and lower energy. Whatever energy level you're at is the kind of energy you will attract more of. Are you getting this? This is quantum physics. It's not my theory. It is true. It's scientific. We just need to understand this and see how am I going to apply it in my day-to-day life. That's what I'm going to do. Just make it very simple for you. Let's understand one concept first. I'm going to show you a chart. This is a picture which will tell you what are the different emotions that we experience and what are the different energy levels that are associated with it. All right. So let's make a very quick note of this. And I need you to bring this into your life as you understand what I'm talking about. So let me share. Let me know if you can see this. Yeah. Okay. So what you see in front of you are the different frequency, right? So the lower levels are your survival emotions and the higher levels are the elevated emotions. You see how the waves change, how the frequency changes as you go towards higher level of emotions, from survival emotions to elevated emotions. When you are at survival emotions, you experience emotions like lust, pain, being a victim. Why does it happen to me? Why am I like this? Suffering, which is nothing but prolonged pain. When you keep that pain alive and fresh is when you get to a point of suffering. Shame, guilt, fear, anger, control, all these are lower energy levels. Survival emotions. When we feel that we are comparing ourselves to others, when we catch ourselves and bring in the awareness that we are comparing ourselves to others, it'll be easy to identify that we will be in some of these emotions. When I'm comparing myself to other people, I could feel guilty that why didn't I work hard in school? Why didn't I crack that engineering exam? I was just as intelligent as this girl, but she's gotten through and look where she is and look where I am. So I'm guilty about not doing what I could have done yesterday. Or I'm feeling shame, or I'm suffering with where I am in life and I'm not happy, I'm not proud of myself. Or I'm feeling like a victim. Why me? Poor me. It's just me. I am the one who has these kind of parents. I am the one who doesn't have the money. It's me. It's just everything is going wrong with me. Or there is pain or lust or jealousy or anger or fear when we are comparing ourselves with other people. How do you stop comparing is not just a decision that you can take, because it doesn't work like that. Okay, Yukti, I've realized that comparison is not going to serve me. I'm going to stop comparing. It doesn't work like that. I'm going to give you a technique to deal with this comparison that happens in your head. Sometimes you realize it, sometimes you don't realize it. When you realize it, you need to nail down the emotion you're experiencing. That's step number one. You got step number one, then say, got step one. You got step number one? What is this? What is the first step? When I catch myself, find myself comparing to others, I will nail down the emotion I'm experiencing in that moment. I'm going to write down. I'm comparing myself with Achal and I feel like I'm not good enough. By not good enough, I mean that right now I'm feeling that I'm not as smart. Okay. So that is because I did not get that kind of education. She went to a better institute than I did. Are you understanding? So this is the emotion I'm feeling. I'm feeling jealousy. I'm feeling like I'm a victim. This is the emotion I'm feeling. So you have to build your awareness to a level where you know what is happening with you at a physical, mental, and emotional level. As a leader, you have to train yourself to do that. It is a skill and it can be learned. If you haven't mastered it, it should be at the top of your learning plan to build in more self-awareness so that you can give an answer like how Kiran and Gurpreet and Manju are sharing here, right? That I can nail down my emotion. Let me tell you, not everyone can do that. Achal, Manjunath, not everyone can do that. Many people will struggle with this question. What do you mean, what emotion you're feeling? I don't know, I'm feeling bad. But bad is a feeling. What is the emotion? What is the emotion that it is tying down to? I'm feeling bad. Yeah, all right. So, what's the emotion I'm experiencing? I need to catch the energy in motion. I need to know that right now my energy is low. Now, I'm going to use the technique to elevate the energy. Okay. Are you ready for it? Then give me a ready in the chat box. Are you ready? Are you ready to know how to do this? Ready? Okay. So let me share my screen again. I'm going to give you a technique to deal with 6 emotions for now. 6. And these are pretty broad emotions. Many other emotions will easily fall under one of these 6 categories. These are the 6 lowest level of energy. What we need to do is combat this with a high level of energy. जैसे जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा मीठा खाते हो, when you eat something very sweet, you want to drink some water, right? To create that balance in your palate, on your tongue. It's too sweet and you just want to have some water to create that balance. Or you have something too spicy and you want to kind of bring that down. You have some water or something sweet. What do? You create an antidote, right? Are you understanding this? So you're feeling this manner, which is here. You will pick up something from a higher energy level and combat this level. This will get pulled up. Instead of getting sucked into your own self-created drama, that poor me, I'm like this, I don't have the resources, I'm not that intelligent, my parents are like this, and wow, that we do, right? We need to get out of the drama and not worry about why it is the way it is. We just need to pick up something from the higher energy level, higher emotions, and bring that to practice. What does that mean? I'm going to give you an example using these 6 emotions. Okay, here we go. All right. So, using emotions, we are going to reverse our action. That's what we are going to do. All right. Now, let's look at lust and greed, which is at the lowest level. When we feel greed or lust in comparison to other people, that, I mean, my salary is good. In fact, there was a survey done when people were asked, if you earn $50,000 a year, okay, and your neighbor earns $25,000, would you be happy? And the person said, yeah, 50,000 is not bad. I think I'll be happy. And then they were asked, if you earn $100,000 a year and your neighbor earns $300,000, would you be happy? And they said, no, we choose the first situation. And there are numbers here. This is a scientific survey, research done, which goes to show that we perceive our success in comparison to other people's failure. If they are more successful than you are, then you're not experiencing that success. You're not calling yourself successful, because in comparison to somebody else, you're not as successful. And that's where greed and lust comes in, the need for more. I've got one car, but I want two because my neighbor has three. Or this person who was in college with me has a penthouse. I just have a 2 BHK. I need a penthouse because that's success. And that's when we need to create an antidote, pick up something from the higher emotional level, and that is gratitude. Bring in genuine gratitude for what you have. While you could still have the ambition to do more and achieve more, but it has to start with the gratitude for what you have. And that's when you will be able to conserve the energy and channelize it towards doing things which will take you to the next level of success. Are you getting this? Right? So when you catch yourself comparing with others and you feel right now I'm feeling greed, it's not as if I don't have enough money, but I'm feeling like I don't have as much as somebody else does. In that situation, I am going to consciously bring in more gratitude. Got that? Say got it in the chat. Just say got it. And I'll move to the next emotion, jealousy. When you experience jealousy, consciously bring in appreciation for the person you are feeling jealous with. Understand this, okay? This is fun. So if you think that somebody is better looking than you are, or that somebody is liked more by the boss than you are, and you feel jealous, find the courage, which you have. I know you have it. Find that courage to walk up to that person and say, hey, you know what? I think you have amazing features. And I think you're really good looking. I'm sure you've not heard this for the first time. And it's not some, what's that? What's that line? What's it called? I'm forgetting the word. Okay. So it's not the attempt to kind of flirt, right, with anybody. It's about you going out candidly to say that you appreciate this about the person. You appreciate the fact that the boss has so much trust in you. And it's really nice to see that. Sometimes it makes me jealous. Try this out, and let me tell you, immediately a lot of your energy that is stuck in jealousy, which you are hiding as your top secret, that energy will be released to get channelized in something more meaningful for you and for your life. Go and tell this person, I'm so jealous of the fact that you're so loved by the boss. It's amazing how you build that trust with him or her. That's how jealousy is dealt with. Okay. When you feel like you're a victim, why me, poor me, take the responsibility of your life the way it is. Good, bad, ugly. It's you, your creation. And that's the truth and the only truth. That's it. Period. There's no other way to look at it. When you get stuck with suffering, suffering is what? Like I said, when you stretch pain, a prolonged state of pain is suffering, is when you need to bring in forgiveness, right? If I'm suffering with this episode that happened with me, I need to forgive that person and myself for being in that kind of a situation, knowing that I did the best I could at that time. And that person did the best that person could at that time with the wisdom they had and the wisdom I had. And that's the only way you will let go. When you are suffering, you need to let go. Imagine stretching an elastic. When you experience suffering, it's like stretching an elastic. And there is a certain limitation to the elasticity, isn't it? Beyond a point, when you leave it, it will hurt you real bad. You know that. And in the entire process, you've spent all the time you had just by stretching it. And that doesn't achieve anything, doesn't help you achieve anything. What do? You need to let go before it gets too late. And it hurts you real bad. It hurts you when you realize that you wasted so much time in your life. It hurts you when you realize that you could have taken action instead of sitting and sulking and cribbing. Understand what I'm saying, guys? It's not just somebody else's life we're talking about here. We're talking about your life and a part of your life which is stuck with experiencing this suffering for whatever reason. Bring in forgiveness there and see what it does to you. Shame. If you feel there is any element of shame about what you did or what happened to you, fill yourself up with love and say that, you know what, that was embarrassing. And I'm going to fill myself with more love and take better care of myself. And that's what I'm going to do starting this moment. And I want you to promise this to yourself, that you will not allow shame to come in and tell you who you are. As Brené Brown says beautifully, shame is the I am statement. It's who you think you are. but it is always related to just a situation, which could probably be embarrassing, but that was just a situation. And you're not living through that situation anymore. Not in reality. In your head, you are multiple times in a day. Is it worth it? You know it isn't. How do you deal with that? How do you combat that? Is with self love. And the last one for now is guilt. When you experience guilt, please know it's an absolute waste of time. Absolute waste of time. Instead of feeling guilty, take some action. Bring in appreciation. Appreciation about the fact that you're realizing you should not have done it. Appreciation about the fact that guilt shows me my morals. When you're guilty about something, it tells you that you've gone against your morals. You have high level of morals. It shows you that, right? And that requires and deserves some bit of appreciation from you, isn't it? So what you need to do is, when you find yourself at lower levels of emotions, you've got to consciously choose any of the higher levels of emotions and bring that into your action. When you do that is when not only the comparison stops, but the energy that could have been stuck in that comparison for days and weeks and months and years is released to be used elsewhere, is released to add more quality to your life. I hope this has opened up something in you. And I hope that you're going in with the willingness to do a few things differently from here on. And catching this monkey mind when it pulls you down into that space of darkness and negativity, and zero it down to a few words in terms of your emotions. And look out for an antidote that I've shared already and bring that into practice. What out of these tips and techniques that I've shared with you today has stayed with you? What is your takeaway? A quick comment on that, and then let me conclude today's satsang. I just want to end it by saying that, I don't want to be you, because I'm not you. But I want to learn from you so that I can be better me. And that has a lot more value than me trying to be you. I hope this was a useful session and it stays with you for days and years to come. And I am waiting to see you again next week with another very important and insightful topic in the space of leadership and satsang. Till then, please take good care of yourself. There is a spiritual leadership program that we launch once every year. We're starting the next batch in August, which is a 1-year program with me. You're going to be with me for a year. We're going to spend every week together, going deeper within ourselves, understanding spirituality, bringing those learnings into leadership. We'll share more details with this video. Till then, please take good care of yourself. Thank you so much for joining in today. It means a lot. Keep your questions coming in. I'll see you next week, sharp at 8 o'clock Indian Standard Time. God bless you all.